I need to come out of it.
When at that period when you was going through, that breakdown,
Yeah,
whatever you can talk about, you get
yeah,
me? Again, whatever you can talk about, you can share with us.
yeah.
Like, what was you going through?
I was going through like a. It was like a depression. It was kind of like it was like a depression, but it was like a. It's a bit similar to like kind of like what Tyson Fury was going through from boxing, and that's why I could understand Tyson Fury's
Mental breakdown
mental
at the
breakdown.
time.
Yeah, I had to find a way, and I had to I had to kind of just snap out of it, and I had to just get back on my feet, because I feel like I have a lot of there's a lot of things, there's a lot of life left for me on this earth, and I've just got to do the most as I can on this earth, and that's one thing we have to learn. We have to be grateful that we live in every day, you know, and yeah, like, so that's why, like, when I go to the gym, I'm there to like, I'm there to train to get the results, but also motivate people, and they can be inspiring and all that, etc. Motivate people, tell them that, look, whatever you want, you can achieve it. It's never too late. You can always you can always climb back up, because sometimes we go through a plateau, but then we get back on our feet. That's part of the process. Sometimes when you fail, it's good to fail, because when you fail, you learn from your mistakes. I just remember during COVID, man, I was just it was crazy because they were just locking all the gyms off, and I know a lot of people were just thinking, damn, what's going on? And then you eventually saw everyone starting to gain a bit of weight. Everyone started to decline, and it wasn't really our fault because they locked all the gyms down. But what I did during COVID is I was putting myself out there on the gram, and I was just showing people what you could do. If you haven't got no equipment at home, there's things you can use, and a lot of people were actually doing it during COVID. So they were using chairs to to like do leg presses, or they were getting bottles and stuff. They're just using things to. I mean, some people were lucky because they had like weights at home as well, so it was easy for them to like to work out at home and show people on the ground what they're doing. Sometimes you do certain exercises at home, and sometimes your brain is telling you need more equipment. What is there to use? So even just doing the press ups, it's like, okay, but I want to do something that I can just push with the weights, But bear in mind, I did have like a bench. I did have like a bench in my garden, so I would use the bench to bench press. But I just realized that the dumbbells were not heavy enough for me.
Okay.
So it kind of got to a point where like I did start feeling down. Like I started getting a bit depressed, and I know everyone started getting a little depressed because they're not going to the gym, and you know I realized that the gym is a very powerful tool because it only takes one person to notice you, especially if you've trained hard, you're getting the respect you're getting a respect from everyone else. You've put in the work, you're getting credit from people, right?